Well, that was odd. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 weirdest TV game shows. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be looking at the strangest game shows and television specials that were produced and released within the United States. That means no Japanese game shows, though. We'll be ranking our choices based on the degree of weirdness and how much of a spectacular fail the show ended up being.
There's good news behind all this. You gotta put that thing down.
Number 10, The Gong Show.
From Hollywood, almost live, it's The Gong Show.
The Gong Show may have been a bit of an oddball, but people loved it just the same. The show served as a primitive America's Got Talent of sorts, as it focused on often terrible performers trying to entertain a panel of celebrity judges.
David Letterman.
Yes, sir. A little trouble with my pen.
Should a judge deem the performance lame, they struck a gong, signaling that the performer was out. Should the performer actually be good, they were ranked on a scale of 0 to 10. The winner was given $516.32, or $716.32 in the syndicated version, while a little person ran across the stage throwing confetti. Number 9, Candy Crush. Yes, this is a game show version of the mobile game Candy Crush saga. And yes, it is every bit as painful as that sounds.
3, 2, 1, crush!
Contestants must first go through the qualifying round, which includes picking jelly squares from the board while strapped to a candy cane, as well as running through licorice mazes. They then go to the king-size challenges, which are basically just playing Candy Crush in wacky scenarios and positions.
Okay, right next to you. Good, good.
Finally, they compete in the Ultimate Candy Clash, which sees players attempting to make 50 matches while suspended in the air. It's all very embarrassing stuff, and the novelty wears off pretty quickly.
How'd you feel getting flung around?
Hey, it would jerk the snot out of you.
Number 8, Hurl. We mean, it's a game show called Hurl. Are you expecting top-class entertainment? Hurl aired on G4 for 11 episodes between July and September 2008. Yeah, it was a bit of a failure.
The name says it all!
The game entails players eating large amounts of food, with choices like clam chowder and cream of spinach soup appearing in episodes, and then taking part in strenuous physical activity. The latter is meant to nauseate the players and make them barf. The last person to barf, or to not barf at all, wins. That's it. Do you now see why it only aired for 11 episodes? Turns out that watching others puke is not exactly a good time.
Is it sort of a dubious honor to have contestants throw up your amazingly prepared food?
I have to admit, I didn't know that was what's going on.
Number 7, Woo. Woo aired on CBS for a year. Better than Hurl, but still a spectacular fail nonetheless. Woo starts well enough. Contestants needed to correct factual mistakes by providing the right answer, kind of a fill-in-the-blank Jeopardy.
Many people have improved their looks by replacing their eyeglasses with contact
Lenses.
But then they get to the gauntlet of villains, and all hell breaks loose. This was a path lined with 10 wooden villains, each with an arm raised. The player needed to lower their arm by correcting bloopers, which allowed them to run to the finish line.
It is said that where the rainbow touches the ground, you'll find a pot of stew. Go!
Some of the bizarre characters included Count Nibbleneck and Nero the Fiddler. Yes, a fiddler. Perhaps they should have just stuck with fill-in-the-blank Jeopardy. Number 6, Man vs. Beast. Remember how disappointed we all were when we discovered that Michael Phelps wasn't actually racing a live shark? Well, fear not. Man vs. Beast has you covered. Man vs. Beast was a series of television specials that aired in 2003 and 2004, which depicted various matches of humans versus animals.
You see he's looking, swinging back and forth, taunting the gymnast.
For example, one man was in a hot dog eating contest with a Kodiak bear, another foot raced a giraffe and a zebra, and yet another saw various dwarves competing with an elephant in a jet pulling contest.
The beast has beat the man!
As you can imagine, some viewers were outraged, particularly animal rights activists, and the show quickly faded into obscurity. Number 5, Repo Games.
How you doing, sir? Whoa.
We don't know whose idea it was to make a trivia game out of repossessing cars, but give that person a medal, because this is some prime entertainment. The show follows real repo men Josh Lewis and Tom DeTone as they go around to various houses and repossess cars.
Hey, hold on.
The game element comes in the form of trivia. The people whose car may be repossessed are given a chance to have their debt wiped if they answer 3 trivia questions correctly.
No?
This one.
I'm going with the boobs.
We are then treated to irate people failing to answer general knowledge questions on their front lawn while watching their cars being towed away. Bizarre and tasteless? Sure. Entertaining? Hell yeah. Number 4, The Magnificent Marble Machine. I mean, just listen to that title. It sounds like a late-era Beatles album or something, and it is every bit as weird as one. In the first part of the game, players needed to guess an answer via a scrolling clue and blanks detailing the number of letters in the answer.
Yeah, what kind of a brace, Bobby?
Bear hug.
You're right.
The winning team was then taken to a gigantic 20-foot-high, 12-foot-long pinball machine, aka the Magnificent Marble Machine. And then they basically just played pinball. We guess the novelty of seeing a giant pinball machine is fun and all, but it gets really old really fast. But hey, they needed to cash in on the 70s pinball craze somehow. Number 3, You Don't Know Jack. You may know Jack from the video games, but did you know that it became a TV show as well? Yep, from June 20th to July 18th, 2001, You Don't Know Jack was a game show that aired on ABC, and Pee Wee Herman himself, Paul Rubens, was the host. The show added a few new twists to the proceedings, like the $2 million question in round 2, which saw Rubens as Troy Stevens trying to read a clue while being distracted in humorous ways.
If the titles of the following TV shows
But for the most part, the show followed the video game, including rounds of Dis or Dat and Jack Attack. It was every bit as peculiar as the video game, for good and bad. Number 2, The $1.98 Beauty Show.
Hey, thank you. Welcome to the $1.98 Beauty Show.
This series aired in syndication at the end of the 1970s and served as a parody of beauty contests. 6 female contestants were judged by 3 celebrity panelists, with the show taking the form of a beauty contest, including a talent portion and a swimsuit competition, wherein the host simply cracked jokes the entire time.
Rhonda tells us that she's a third-generation nurse. Her mother was a nurse, her mother's mother was a nurse, and her grandfather liked to dress up like a nurse.
At the end of the day, the winner is given a cheap crown, rotten vegetables, and a cash prize of $1.98. There isn't really a point to this show. The winners were predetermined, and it was just a lame way to make fun of beauty pageants. Yawn. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Tara, please reveal your baggage.
Oh boy.
I don't want you to be angry with me, Linda, because I'm a very sensitive person. So I will tell you that what you have won is a check for $21,000!
Number 1, Three's a Crowd. Three's a Crowd was created by Chuck Barris, the man behind the $1.98 Beauty Show and who hosted The Gong Show, and it is arguably his masterpiece. It has what is probably the most baffling concept of all time. A team consisting of a husband, a wife, and a secretary, and both the wife and the secretary had to answer personal questions about the man to see who knew him better.
What about Nancy? Is she or is she not in love with Cliff?
In love?
In love with Cliff.
I'd say yeah.
Yes.
The response was one of immediate hatred, with many claiming that it promoted and harnessed adultery for entertainment. And it bombed so hard that it brought Barris's other shows down with it.
If she said yes, I'll kill her.
It was a huge failure, and it all but ruined Barris's career and reputation.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.